YouTube, Lauren Howman here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's been a minute since I've done a video, and so I wanted to hop on and give you guys some updates and some amazing testimonies from some of the people that I've been helping and talking to. And it's just mind-blowing, and it's also really heartwarming for me to be able to make an impact on a different platform than what is my usual, which is women's health. And so anyway, let's get that disclaimer out of the way real quick. I am a nurse practitioner. I'm not operating as such during my fasting journey. So you have to contact your own doctor or practitioner before starting a fasting journey or any new diet or exercise routine. Now that that's out of the way, first let me tell you a person I'm having a conversation with today. I spoke to her back in July. I met her through the business that her and I are both doing, and she is doing the Slimmer Challenge with me, and she has been on diabetes medication for about 10-12 years. Never insulin, but some of the oral anti-diabetic medications. And we were talking a little bit, and I said, do me a favor. This is going to sound like a lot, but do me this favor. Go and download Dr. Jason Fung's The Diabetes Code book, because I want you to understand how diabetes truly works and how you can make a difference in your diabetes by doing some of the recommendations within that book. And Dr. Jason Fung is a nephrologist who's been helping patients reverse their diabetes and insulin resistance for over 25 years. And he also wrote the complete guide to water fasting or something like that, which is the first book I read that got me interested in water fasting. So guess what? She read this book. I don't know if she did the audio or if she read the paperback or whatever version. And then she started following some of the recommendations. She started with intermittent fasting, and she fasts from anywhere for like, I may be getting this a little off, so you're not gonna be able to hold this to me, but she does not do it long-term fasting. She does up to 20 hours, and then does like a 4-hour eating window, and sometimes has more than that, and she's been walking 3 times a week since mid-July. Okay, so since mid-July, she went into her endocrinologist today, and they had to take her off of her morning dose of her oral anti-diabetic medication. So, guys, this stuff works, and honestly, her doctor is a little bit miffed. Now, this is a new doctor to her, so he just happened to be looking through her glucose monitor, or her glucometer, and was noticing that her sugars were running in the high 200s, and all of a sudden they're down in the 80s. And when he asked why, she told him why. That she had incorporated fasting as a tool to help her get rid of her diabetes and to help her lose weight and to help her with her insulin sensitivity. And he was a little bit miffed because, guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm in the medical profession, and also I've had this education. We're not getting the education we need. When I graduated from school, I was so scared of diabetes because I didn't understand it. And so I didn't feel confident explaining it to anybody, which is part of the reason I decided to go into women's health instead of a general practice degree for my advanced degree, because some of that stuff just did not make sense to me. It was so complex. And that's because we only got like 2 minutes of education in it. Doctors receive how many years of formal education, and they only get 6 hours of nutrition. 6 hours. And so the world is catching up. I think I told you on a previous video that some of my research that I was doing for my CEUs, the credits that I have to complete to maintain my certification as a nurse practitioner, I chose to do, whoops, there that went. I chose to do one on diabetes, and I was so happy to see that the research said that diabetes is actually not a progressive disease that you're just gonna have and it's gonna get worse. It's actually a lifestyle and food related disease. Big difference. One is that you're hopeless and you can't do anything, you're just going to get worse and worse. And one says that you can do something about it. So that's the first testimony for today. The second person I want to tell you about is a friend that I've only known through the internet for about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And she's Canadian. She's in Canada. I met her through one of my fasting Facebook groups. And her and her partner, I keep calling him her husband, but they're not married yet, but they're going to be one day. And her and her husband decided that they're going to do this, and they decided that they were going to do the 48-hour fasting recommendation, where you fast for 48 hours, you have a refeed that is ketogenic or low carb, and then you go right back into another 48-hour fast. Now, her starting weight is somewhere around, I'm going to get this wrong too, I think 260 or 280. 260 something. That's right, 262, 264. And she, in 6 days, guys, which means 48-hour fast, feed, 48-hour fast, feed, 48-hour fast, feed. She's done that rotation 3 times. In 6 days, she's lost 20 pounds. Her husband is eating every day or her partner does really, he exerts himself a lot at work. And if I'm not mistaken, he does like construction, road work, out in the sun all day, drinking tons of fluids. So he is doing 1 meal a day. And I think he's thrown in 1 48-hour fast. And he's lost 28 pounds in like 6 days, 6 or 7 days, guys. That's it. And he has a lot more to lose than she does. But they're both pretty pumped to be doing this. And the biggest thing that they found is that they're actually not even hungry. This little phone holder is not working well today. Every time I hit a bump, it's moving. So y'all are going to have to just move your phone around to see me straight if you want to see me straight, I guess. So in 6 or 7 days, 28 pounds for him and 20 for her. 20 pounds is a huge milestone for a woman. You can be on Weight Watchers for a year before you lose 20 pounds. And that's not me knocking Weight Watchers. I'm just saying that this is some powerful stuff. Very powerful. And think of what 20 pounds does for your motivation and your self-confidence. And just, 20 pounds is major. And that happened in 6.5, 7 days. Anyway, I'm completely blown away. So those are just the 2 people I wanted to talk about today that I've been talking with on the phone. And this is not a toot my own horn. This is, listen guys, this works. Let me tell you about the people that are doing this and that they're getting so much help. And all I'm doing is chatting with them and giving them the information and helping them make it work for them. Tweaking the snake juice, tweaking the refeed schedule. So they're doing all the hard work. I'm just talking with them. And honestly, what I'm going to find with myself as a coach is that I'm better at coaching than I am at fasting. And I've done a pretty darn good job fasting with some issues, like with some fallbacks and some fall offs and, some mess ups. But like, I'm pretty good at this coaching thing. So that's pretty awesome. And, so anyway, it's just amazing. And it really does like touch me to be able to impact these people's life. Like people in Canada, what? Like I have relationships with people in Canada and I'm helping them lose weight and get healthy. That's just mind-blowing. So I'm grateful that I found fasting, and I'm grateful that I'm able to bring it to other people, and I'm grateful for social media for helping me do that, because honestly, without social media 20 years ago, I wouldn't be able to have this impact on people in Canada. Okay, so anyway, what am I up to? Not much. So I was out of town for a funeral this weekend, and I did not fast. I fasted some, and then I just kind of did what I did, and I've had a hard time getting back on track because I also have family here. So I came back from North Carolina, and I have family here staying with me. And as we all know, social activities always are, you're surrounded by food when it comes to like what you do to entertain your guest at home and all. And so I'm not worried about it. I've been maintaining my weight for like months now. But I've really slowed down on the weight loss, and I can tell you, I've said this before, I'll tell you again, it's because I've gotten comfortable. I'm no longer in pain. So you will be really motivated to lose weight and to fast and to like just really kick butt at this until you get to a place where you don't look bad anymore and you don't feel bad and you have like regular energy of like a normal person instead of a person who feels like a slug with no motivation. So as you get into the more comfortable place, which I am not done yet with where I need to be, I've got at least another 15 pounds to go before I'll be where I need to be, quote unquote. But I am much more comfortable where I'm at, sitting 55, 60 pounds lighter than I was in January. So it's no rush for me. Like I just kind of feel like, I'll get there when I get there. So if you're just beginning your journey, I don't want you to take my slacking as a sign that you should be slacking too. Just know that I did my time. I did my fasting. I did my hardcore stuff. And now I am just really taking it easy. And once the summer festivities come to a halt, I will be fasting hardcore again to get to, I want to be to my goal weight by the end of the year, because that just sounds good. Like I lost all the weight I needed to from January to December, and bam, we're done. So I would also like to be able to actually shop for clothes, because I really don't want to spend a whole lot of money on clothes that I'm not going to be in forever. And once I get to my ideal size, now that I know how to stay at my ideal size by incorporating fasting with feasting and with daily eating and OMAD and all this other stuff I've learned, I will stay the same size once I get to the size I want to be. If I use my scale for feedback and know when to pull back on the eating when I've done too much, I'll see that on the scale, and then I'll fast for a little bit, and then I'll carry on with life. So that's what I'm up to. And traveling is definitely hard with fasting, and so I didn't even bother. And now that I'm back home, I'm trying to do like OMAD or a small eating window of like 1 to 6. And today I did eat, what did I have? I had like a protein bar and a piece of dark chocolate and a bowl of oatmeal. And that was at like 1:30, so I'm going to eat dinner at like 6:30, so like a 5-hour window today. And then I'll be done for the day. And you can really play around with this stuff once you have really learned all about how you do with fasting, what works best for you. So again, in talking to the person in Canada who's already lost 20 pounds in like 6 days, she wanted to know how I started, and I did more prolonged fast. Like my first fast was 4.5 days, and then I just ate normal for like a week and a half, just ate like a normal American diet, and then I did an 8-day fast, and that's all I did in the month of January, and I lost 18 pounds. So I did it differently than she is, and she's doing 48s with a refeed, then a 48 and a refeed, and she's doing really well with that. And she's talking about wanting to do a longer fast, and I'm like, try a longer fast if you want to, but you're doing so amazing right now. Do what works for you. We're all going to do it a little bit differently. So if I can be here to support any of you on your journey, just know that I'm not operating as a medical professional during this, but I'm here. You can PM me, you can email me at laurenhowman2@yahoo.com. But I'm really finding that I love this part of my journey and being able to help other people. So being out of town, I was disconnected from my phone a lot of the time. And like, you can't be at a funeral on a cell phone, obviously. But when I got back, I was catching up on all my messages, and one person was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you answered me. I thought you were mad at me. I'm sorry for your loss, but I'm glad you're not annoyed with all of my questions." And absolutely not. I'll answer anything that I can and try to steer you in the right direction. So that's all for me today. I hope everybody has a good day. I'll be back when I'm back. Bye, guys.